everyone. Welcome to Working Women. I'm your host, Jace. We have met many amazing women while running creatives at work. We hope to share some inspiring stories about how female executive entrepreneurs as well as freelancers from Singapore are taking charge and building successful businesses. So today, I'm very privileged and honored to actually have an old friend. Okay, maybe not old, but to have a friend, that's here with us today. And this is Emily Ong from Design Singapore, Deputy Executive Directors. So Emily, would you like to, share with our audiences about yourself?
Sure. I've known Jace like forever. It's been 10 years.
Yeah, more than that.
Yes. When I was in MDA, it was 2011, 2012. Yeah, that was way back then. Been in the service for 18 years.
Wow.
Before that, I was in the private sector. I was doing marketing, advertising and sales. So 18 years in the service is a very long time. In the 18 years, I have moved 7 times, 7th posting. So I was from, in the ministry. Then I also went to EDB, the Economic Development Board. Then I joined MDA. I came to Design Singapore Council 4 years ago.
Right.
In 2016, when I took over this role as Deputy ED. Yeah, so that is essentially what I do as a career. I'm also a mother of a 15-year-old boy. Yeah. Nobody believes that I'm a mother of a 15-year-old boy.
And that 15-year-old boy is as tall as you, right?
No, he's actually taller than me now. Oh my gosh, my son. Yeah, so I'm busy as a parent as well. He's Sec 3 this year. Then on top of that, I'm also doing my second master's.
Wow.
Yeah, so I graduated from NUS Business School. Then I went to do my MBA. Then right now, I'm actually in the midst of finishing up my Master of Design in Design Strategies at Hong Kong Poly U.
But it sounds like you wear a lot of different hats, right? You are a student, you are an executive running, the development of the design industry in Singapore. You're a mother, So what is a typical normal day looks like to you?
I don't know when you refer to a typical day is when lah. So right now, if it's a typical day now is that I wake up, I'm a early riser.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I sleep at 10:30 every night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that has been my habit and the discipline for many years. And that's how I keep my mind sharp and having the energy. So I sleep at 10:30 every night and I wake up at 7 every day. Then after that, I'll just have this quiet time, between 7 and 8. I'll just eat my breakfast and just chill. That means I don't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
That's very important for me. Then from 8:30 onwards, the meetings will start. Right? Zoom.
Yeah. And
it's
like non-stop.
It's just non-stop, right? So work takes up a lot of my time. My classes are on weekends.
Right.
So that means I haven't had a weekend for the last 1 year.
Wow.
Because weekends are classes. Then on top of that, I have to do assignments. So there's assignments, there's lectures, there's work. Then on top of that, weekends, if I have time, I'll try to spend some time with my son. My son and I, we are very close. Yeah, he's my only boy. And essentially, we share the interests. So we used to be able to go to performances. Now we can't.
Right.
Yeah, so we go cycling together. Actually, a lot of people ask me how I juggle. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I really don't. But I think my greatest strength so far is my ability to focus. Yeah, so that means once I focus on a certain area, I will just chung.
Yeah.
From A to B, we'll just finish it, just focus.
Yeah.
And then I've learned also to divide the time lah. So when it's time to work, you focus. When it's time to play, you play. When it's time to sleep, sleep.
Yeah, this is something that you have to trust us, right? Working with Emily in the past, we all know, right, that, when she starts working, she's really very serious, right? And she really chong all the way. But when she decided that it's time for her to have fun, then she's actually quite fun. So Emily has to be a very good co-workers, for me especially, as well as mentors. And of course, during the early days when Creative at Work first started, she also gave us a lot of support. She's the one who actually, say, okay, go, Jace, go. Leave the company, go and do it. Yeah. Yeah. But I was actually quite curious. I mean, even before you decided to go for your second MBA, right? You're already, wearing so many hats, as a mother, running, Design Singapore and things like that. What made you think that you needed a second MBA, and why do you decide on this particular MBA?
When I came to Design Singapore, it was actually in a different place. Last time when we talk about design, you just think about design as aesthetic.
Yeah.
Right? Either you can be a product designer, you can be a fashion designer. But the world has changed for design. So even for us who are non-design trained, right, could also adopt a design mindset. Because you must understand, design is not about just drawing and designing. Design as a mindset, which means that you basically will possess skills like collaborative skills, risk-taking, problem-solving. These are all part of having a design mindset. Being iterative, being able to understand users, empathy, right? We talk about that. So when I came back to Design Singapore, I saw the opportunity and I thought that could be something that I really want to do. And it's not hard, right? I don't need to basically learn how to draw. The idea is that after I finish this Master of Design in Design Strategy, I'm not going to be a designer. That's quite clear, right? However, my role can be an innovation catalyst, can be a design strategist in an organization. Because in today's world, more and more people are seeing that people like me eventually can be the bridge between tech, business, or even the design part of things, even psychology. So this confluence, right, is very real. So if you ask me anytime to anybody, right, just go and do it. Because it is, in this whole year of taking this course, right, has actually transformed me tremendously. Last time I used to think very linear.
Right. Okay.
You know,
that's
like,
how we are taught in school.
Yeah, correct. Right? In the business grade, like that. But the thing is, when you go through a process of a design process, right, the first thing I learned was that I learned to shift my brain. I'm actually a very logical and analytical, can be siao lah, but very logical.
It's systematic.
Correct. But the thing is, right now, I have to shift my brain the other way, whereby I will start thinking of multiple ways of solving a problem. Last time, I only think of that solution, right? Now I have to find different scenarios. That's one powerful thing I've learned. The other thing is being able to collaborate with people with different skill sets. Because in my group, right, actually I'm the only one that's business trained. All my classmates are design trained. So that means this is this side of the brain, right? Or is it that side? Then I'm on the other side. So when we come together, right, it's not easy, because I think a certain way. Then sometimes I don't understand what they're talking about because they use a certain language. But we're able to come together and produce something that is very powerful.
I think culture also play a role, right?
Exactly. And then we work with people from different nationalities. So I do really encourage people to think of it, as the next wave of having a career.
Right.
Yeah, because not everybody can go into tech. I can't. Although it's like I was trained in physics, I still cannot read this about algorithms to me. So, but the thing is, having a different mindset, I think will bring us very far.
Yeah, it sounds like something that we actually really need, especially at a pandemic like this, right? So, in this whole pandemic, right, what do you think the role of design will actually, how is the role of design going to be transformed in this current pandemic? Or what role do you think it will play, in the coming years?
The design sector is quite interesting. Admittedly, for the classical design. So when I say classical designs, will be those like architecture, fashion, perhaps even product design. They are affected, definitely, because the thing is, it's very product based, correct? Service based. As and when you need to sell something, definitely you will be affected. So for them, we're also encouraging them, right, to pivot. Which means that they also will gain new skill sets, like in terms of digital marketing, in terms of having a strategic communication. That means basically embedding new skill sets in their classical role. Right? Those that are doing pretty well, or as I said, the opportunities are there, will be what I call the emerging areas. So these are what we call design strategy, design research, experience design. And then also those that specialize in ecosystem design, I call organization design. That means skill sets that help organization transform. Actually, there's a lot of demand during this period because they were telling me that organizations say cannot already.
I need to transform myself,
Yeah,
but I don't know how. But because you are in this whole design industry, that's why you see it coming. But how about other organizations in Singapore? Because not everyone is as forward-looking as
Yeah, you are right to say. Actually, I think we're getting a lot more traction from the MNCs. They are more forward-looking. In fact, the SMEs are always tough.
Yeah. Yeah, but they are 99%, right,
Exactly.
of Singapore.
So to them, to be fair to them is design. What you want me to do? You ask me to hire designers. What do they do?
Right.
So how will you help me make money? I mean, the thing is, to be fair, every day is firefighting, right?
Of course.
So essentially, what we have to show them is exactly how to make money. And we
Using
have to
design.
tell them that design is not about just hiring a designer to revamp your website.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically how you transform your entire process.
And the workflow and
And
things like that.
and even like how do you transform your human resource from the person? So we start small. So I must say that it hasn't been easy.
But do you see this changing?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. We're able to get to so far, I think in the last 4 years, it's also because there's a lot of mindset change. Yeah. So I think we will get there. In fact, I think we're pretty far ahead in Asia.
But how do you see this affect the creative industries? Because like design, and then after that, design also have a role in, say, for example, the artists, right? The, people like the painters, things like that. So is that also part of your focus area as well? People of that skill sets?
Design is a problem-solving tool. Because the whole idea of design is to make lives better. Right? So there's a process to get to where you are to make your life better. So there's a problem-solving methodology. So there's a science and art behind it, and there's a commercial element. Must make money lah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So from a freelancer's perspective, because a lot of our audience are actually freelancers, and right now, I mean, of course, what they keep hearing from the government is, retrain lah, go for training, I give you skill future credits, go use it. So do you think that it is time right now for them to actually explore more design-related courses, in terms of, moving into the right directions, like, for example, a second career for them?
Possible, because we have the Skills Future Study Awards for design, same as IMDA.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So essentially, we're also getting quite a lot of applications for people who are non-designers who wants to basically pivot into a career. So quite a number of them actually went to do UX, UI. That's a natural thing for them to go in. So actually through the study awards, we have gotten quite a lot of applications for freelancers.
I would suppose so, because I think, this is the right time,
Correct.
right, that they need to start thinking about where they go.
So actually a lot of our friends, right, those in the media industry, if I can nag at them, I will. I say, hello guys. You are in the media industry. You have complementary skill sets. Please do something. Yeah, and I find that design is something that is very complementary.
Right.
Just do it.
Right. Yeah. But will they tell you that, I cannot design, I don't have design sense, Then
I say, look at me. I can't even do a proper PowerPoint. My classmates say my PowerPoint sucks. Too many words.
So they take over.
So how it will split the work is Emily will do all the writing. So because of perfect English, then they will do all the design. Because my PowerPoint really cannot make it. They look at it. It was quite funny. So just look at me. Cannot design PowerPoint, one can do it. So no one's stopping, other sectors from doing that. Because we have been in the creative industries for so long, right? It's like, to me, skill sets is very easily gained. It's your mindset.
Yeah. I agree. It's you need to get over that part. Yeah. But do you think design is not as valued in Singapore? That's why, for the longest time, we hasn't been able to do a lot of breakthrough in design.
I think it has changed in the last while, as I said. The fact that DesignSingapore Council is part of the Singapore Economic Development Board says a lot.
It's true.
Yeah, the fact that we are part of EDB, which means that there is a value that's attached to design as an economic enabler. It took us 16 years to come so far. Right? Last time we used to be just seen as, design is nice to have. Yeah. But now we are different.
Yep. I guess it's also an acknowledgement from the country's leader to say that, design is actually can be an economic drivers, right?
Yeah.
Alongside with all the transport, logistics, manufacturing and all this.
Exactly. So right now we have a front seat row. Front row or whatever, row seat, whatever.
As long as Emily in the front can.
Yeah. No. But the fact that we're able to tell everybody, look, if you basically want economic transformation, you cannot do without design.
Yeah. That's true.
So I think that is really a major stride for us when we became part of EDB. Yeah.
So do you think our designers are also undercharging themselves in that sense? In terms of, because we hasn't been really recognized, in that sense, as driving the product or driving the development of the economic value of the company, and hence they may not be paid as well as, say, for example, an engineer, right? Or a tech person in that sense.
It depends. Because I have a skills framework for design. So under the skill frameworks, right, actually the skills framework was very enlightening for a lot of people. Because under the skills framework, there are 4 pillars of design. One is, of course, the craft.
Yeah.
Then there is design times technology, design times business, design times innovation. So we could definitely see in terms of the salaries, in terms of the pay, right, is much higher. And then also you must also understand design is just like ICT. We are a vertical and we are horizontal. So we have jobs and roles in the classical design space, right? There are double of the designers' roles in the non-design space.
Right.
So a lot of designers are already working in hospitals, right? Interestingly, Tan Tock Seng has a Kaizen office. Yeah, they're very forward-looking, Tan Tock Seng. So they have a Kaizen office, and actually they are staffed inside the team. They have service designers. They hired service designers. One of them is my scholar.
Okay.
So they start up this whole Kaizen office with designers. They also have engineers inside.
Right.
And then it's very interesting. If you go to a place, right, they have facilities whereby they allow doctors, nurses go in and tinker.
Oh.
So they prototype.
Right.
So our designers and the engineers on site, right, help them.
Right, we'll help them with it.
Yeah. So, and then I have also designers working in a bank. DBS have 70 designers.
Wow.
Within the setup. They're all designers. UX, all sorts of experience designers. And their pay, honestly, is double.
Yeah.
Of what a classical designer is. So they are paid like any business or tech person. So it's comparable. And I think this combination of a person having the left and right brain, right, at some point in your life, is very important. Yeah, so I always encourage the engineers or IT people, go and pivot to the other side to learn about, the way that you solve problems through a design process. I always tell them you'll transform your life.
So from your 18 years of service, just now you mentioned, right? Do you see the change in terms of more female taking a leadership role now compared to the past? Or actually the dynamic is still pretty much the same with...
You look at how many women ministers we have.
Yeah, I mean...
It says a lot. But I must also say that in my years in the service, I've never felt discriminated.
Just because
and the lovely thing, I think even last time right, the lovely thing about in the service, right, is they give you the opportunity to have a family, and they do not discriminate you because you have to take maternity leave. They in fact ask you, please go and give birth, but at the same time, even when you come back, they don't penalize you, right? Like during ranking sessions, we are told very clearly, you cannot discriminate a lady because she went on maternity leave. She's still considered have done a full year's worth of work, even though she's on maternity leave. Where else? I'm not sure every organization does that. So I think in the service, they allow you, the flexibility to still have a family and you can grow.
Because you launched several blueprint, right? If I'm not wrong.
I did 7 master plans.
Yeah, exactly. 7 master plan, for Singapore.
It's crazy. Why did I do that? I was looking back, I'm nuts. Yeah, why did I even do that?
Yeah. So I think you got good bosses. So how about say in terms of organization, what's your, I would say, requirements, or what's your demand, right, for people who want to work in your team, right?
Very jialat. I think for all of them who have worked with me, right, will hate me during that. Wow, this woman. But after that, if for some reason we can stay as friends. That's what.
Sure.
So there's this joke, right? Some of them, some people who work with me will say that, Emily, I will always be your friend, but I will never work with you.
No, but that's because you have high expectation for them.
Correct. Yeah. So there has been consistency over the years. My MBTI, same one, 360, never change one. All these years, it's consistent one. So the thing is, it's not everybody. I think for those people who work with me, right, is that either you hate me or you like me a lot. There's nothing in between. Yeah. So those that really beritahan me, right, is those like just cannot meet my pace. Yeah, because I run very fast, right?
Yeah.
And then also my standard is very high. Then you'll feel very stressed because this woman is his whole life like just like, going after you. But those that is able to basically meet my standard and can pace along with me and can challenge me, which means you must have liao.
Yeah.
To challenge me, no problem.
Yeah. It will flourish.
So that's why I say maybe it's a bit more black and white in my style. But I did notice that in last 2 years I've changed quite a bit. Not mellowed, still a bit crazy.
Okay.
But the feedback is that I'm more empathetic.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, I must say that I'm tougher. Yeah. I'm basically I'm already very resilient last time. Now it's like, okay, like whatever. Don't tell me cannot do.
Yeah, I know that's, cannot tell Emily no.
It's like, what do you mean cannot do? Yeah, but now if you say cannot do, I will listen to you.
Then after that, still what do you mean? You can do this. Design thinking.
What do you mean cannot do? Yeah, so I think that's me lah. And I don't know whether this is not PC to say. I'm not apologetic about it.
Well, you have your expectations, I guess. I think this year is also quite a tough year for everybody, even in Singapore, right? Especially our graduates. Do you see your scholars in that sense? Are they now more worried, or actually they are quite optimistic about what's the future going to be like after COVID?
I think they will find a way. I think as with all creative people, won't die one. I always say the best thing about creative people is what you have is your knowledge, right? That's very intangible. You could say that it's very intangible, but it's also it's about ideas.
Yeah.
And ideas can be applied, can be created in all different environments. So I think for me, I feel that there is no boundaries when it comes to that. So even in a crisis, right, you find ways.
Yeah.
This one cannot do other things. Yeah, and the best thing about creative people, right, can collaborate, because it's ideas, right? When you ideate, right, it's like ideas coming together. It's not like you have to die build something. Correct? So if you're alone, by being alone, you can't do very much. Then you find like-minded people. Then come together. Yeah. Right? To create things that you see, there's an opportunity here. Can we do something together? Yeah. And I think that's possible, right? Even a media plus, I don't know, design or arts person can come together. Yeah. You can do so much, right? Yeah. Just trust yourself to be able to do what you set out to do. Yeah. That if you have that dream, right, just go and do it.
But I think now for the young people, all the more.
Very tough, isn't it?
I feel personally, it's getting tougher. But of course, again, I think like what you mentioned is actually about the mindset and the resilience. I think we need to build more resilience. Thank you so much, Emily. Thank you for the time. Yeah, thank you for joining us this week as well. So subscribe to our show, Freelance Creative Exchange. Check out our Freelance Creative Exchange website and join our Creative at Work community on the Facebook and Instagram. With that, we shall end today's sessions. Have a wonderful week. Be kind, stay safe, and we'll chat soon. Bye-bye.